welcome to Let's Talk Spoop. I'm your host, Don, and today, continuing with my Halloween marathon, we're going to talk about Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. So, as per usual, we break down the story into 6 separate categories. Those 6 categories are story, acting, music, atmosphere, look, and creep. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So, the movie opens with a bunch of flashbacks, women crying, led by hospital staff to give birth in a creepy temple. Conspiracy theorist's voice talks about how everybody thinks that Michael Myers is dead and his niece Jamie is gone, but the voiceover thinks otherwise. That voiceover is provided by veteran actor Paul Rudd. This was his first starring role. It even says introducing Paul Rudd in the credits. Turns out that the woman who was giving birth was Jamie from the last 2 movies. So Jamie manages to escape with a baby that she just gave birth to post-satanic ritual. She runs away. Michael Myers... so she runs away, and then we get a flash to some other kid, random child, screaming, and there's a dude telling him to murder people, who supposedly, this dude telling him to murder people is the hidden person in black from the previous movie. Then we find out that Paul Rudd is a peeping Tom, which is ironic given that his character name is Tommy. We later find out in this movie that he is the same Tommy that Laurie Strode, that's right, the main character from the first 2 films, was babysitting when she gets attacked by Michael Myers. So it's cool because they kind of bring back in these older characters. Dr. Loomis, we find out he wrote a book. That's about it. There's a stupid radio station that apparently everybody's listening to at the same time. It's also playing in the bus stop that Jamie goes into to hide. She makes a phone call to the radio station because for some reason she can't call 911. And then she leaves the baby at the bus stop and runs away. She then subsequently gets murdered by Michael. She attempts to stop Michael Myers, or to use her psychic connection to Michael to prevent him from killing her, but does not succeed, and then she dies. So that's the end of Jamie's psychic powers and storyline. Kind of a little bit of a letdown, but whatever. They led into this movie fairly well. They did not get the same actress, that would be Danielle Harris, to play Jamie in this one. My understanding is there was some sort of argument about paychecks, but I don't really know. Then we get another flash to that house with the creepy kid. And we find out that it's the Strode family. That's right. It's the family of the people that adopted Laurie Strode, again, the main character from the first 2 movies. And they're not a very good family. The dad's a bit of a jerk, and I was really glad when he died. Evidently, no one cleans the bathroom in the Haddonfield bus depot, because that's where Paul Rudd, Tommy, goes to find a hidden baby. So, that's cool. There's also a lot of blood just everywhere in this bus depot, and nobody seems to care. The little kid of the Strode family draws creepy pictures of his family being murdered, and then this movie, you get a lot of exposition. This movie gives you the explanation of Michael. So, at the end of the recording, as per the last several, I will give you guys a spoiler warning, and I will tell you the ending of the movie. Although, if you're getting spoiled by a movie that's over 10 years old, I'm sorry. So, story, this is probably the most, or not probably, this is the most story-heavy movie in the Halloween franchise. The story's not terrible. It's just kind of interesting because they kind of give you a reasoning, and, you know, it connects into the idea of Michael crying at the end of the fifth one, so it kind of gives you kind of more exposition, which is nice. The story's not terrible. I've definitely heard worse stories like Halloween 3's. So overall, I give it a 3 out of 5 because it's a horror movie with an actual story. Acting. So this movie, as I said before, is starring and introducing Paul Rudd. He has a really bad dramatic voice that he tries to use throughout this movie, and it's really silly. And the rest of the acting is pretty mediocre. So 2 out of 5 for acting. Music, it's stylized versions of the original theme. Nothing really new. Nothing really different. 2.5 on music. Atmosphere. So they had the Haddonfield Halloween, which was nice. Cool callback to the old stuff. But I felt like there was too much sunlight in that. Like, it's too much going on during the day. Especially after number 5, where there's like you just jump straight into the action. This one had a lot more slow build-up, which I'm pretty sure was on purpose, but 2 out of 5 because I wanted more action. Look, this had, of the last 3 Halloween movies, this one had the best, blood, gore, violence, deaths. I loved it. 4 out of 5 on the look. And creep. The deaths are a lot more brutal, but that's really about it. So 2.5 on creep. We tally up those scores, and you get a 2.8 out of 5 skulls for Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. And now the spoilers. All right, so this is Halloween 6. Halloween 6 is the cap to the initial, original Halloween storyline. Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Boom. And in this one, we find out that Michael is actually cursed with the mark of thorn, and there's a group of cultists that are hoping that Michael will successfully kill off his family, because in the event that Michael successfully kills off his family, it will usher in prosperity or some crap. So that's the story that you get in this, and they built it up from the previous movie. They showed us a close-up of Michael's wrist in 5 that shows you the tattoo of thorn, and then a character in it. His name is Dr. Wynn. He runs the Smiths Grove mental hospital, has that tattoo on his wrist because he's a member of the cult, and actually the head of it. He's supposed to be the mysterious man in black. So it was cool that they capped off the story and they gave us like a complete arc and kind of show that Michael is doing what he's doing not because he personally is evil or wants to, but because he is forced to do it. Interesting take on the story. I enjoy it. Like I said, this is the cap to the initial story arc. And I'll talk about this in the next video if I make a H2O video. But Halloween H2O retcons everything that we just talked about in my last 3 tapes. So, sorry about that. And thank you for listening. So, if you haven't noticed, there is kind of a running theme here with my ratings of these movies, and that's because, in all honesty, Halloween, with the exception of one specific movie, and we'll get to it, has the most reliable narrative and just overall performance out of any slasher series, or really any horror series I have ever seen in my entire life. And that's why I really like it.